So, welcome back to episode 4 of the More Movement, More Money podcast. I got Jaret here with me. So, Soul of Jaret. We used to do a lot of collabs together, so now they're going to see a lot more collabs to this podcast.
We're back at it. A new wave.
Yeah, he came out here to visit me in Sayulita. So, long story short, I believe with every bone in my body, every cell in my body, that Terrence McKenna is at least 25% channeling through this man. So today we're going to try to uncover like some of the things he's been channeling, even if it's not Terrence, even if it is Terrence, it doesn't matter. But he's huge in the psychedelic realm. He takes mushrooms every day. He's got me on mushroom. He's got me microdosing right now.
What an intro. What an intro. Yeah, we do have you microdosing right now.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm into it. So yeah, he's an explorer of the mind, and now he's becoming more of an explorer of the world as well. And he's sharing his journey doing that, but he's mostly sharing his internal clock, his like internal journey that he's doing as he's doing all this. And he does it as a full-time content creator now. He used to do some stuff for other people. He still does a little bit, like account management and stuff like that. But he's pretty much a full-time freaking, I put my phone up to my face. He's another one of these guys. So we're going to uncover how he's doing that as to where we can maybe do it if we want to do it, maybe make money off it if you're already doing it, or just, explore those thoughts and philosophies that he talks about because they're a lot of fun.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
For everybody listening, I had no idea this was going to even be kind of the theme of it, but this excites me. Because I think that Hunter S. Thompson has a quote where he's like, he was like this wild, he started gonzo journalism, which is where the journalist is a key figure in the story. He was one of the first people to start doing this. He wrote a story called The Kentucky Derby is Decadent and Depraved. Anyway, he has a quote where he says, if you're in today's world, if you're going to be crazy, you got to find a way to get paid for it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Alan Watts had similar philosophies,
Yeah.
And by crazy, it means like if you're not going to play the game that society's playing, like if you're going to be like just a wacky kind of person hanging out on the fringes, you got to find a way to get paid for it.
Yeah. Just anything out of the normal, quote unquote.
Yes. Even being a yoga teacher and living in Mexico, you know what I mean? Like you got to find an outlet to get paid to go live the life.
Facts. So yeah, what this guy's done is he's kind of like maneuvered what he was doing like 3 or 4 times since I've known him in the past couple of years, and he's found a way to get paid in all of them. So what he just said is like how we're going to learn today from him. I think that's one of the main values you have to bring, not just your thoughts, which is awesome. You're great at explaining your thoughts and exploring your thoughts openly with people, which is something I'm trying to learn on my channels. So that's really awesome. So what I'm curious, and what most people are curious, is like, how did you get started with this? And when did you start creating content? And when did you start thinking like, oh, I'm going to start sharing my thoughts and opinions on, the most random shit, like mushrooms, tripping, business, money, like whatever it is, drop shipping. You did at one point in time. He's been a YouTuber for a while.
Yeah. It's funny because like if you had to sum it up into like one thing, it would be like, it's all been like a journey of coming into closer proximity with who I really am. You know what I mean? So all the things, all the different things I've tried on. I call it trying it on. Yeah. I tried on being a fucking Amazon YouTube guy and a real estate agent, and like these were like things that I tried on. And now where we are is it feels like, and at the time, those did feel like the truest expression of myself. But now I've gotten it to a point where like there doesn't need to be any more labels around it. Like when people ask me like, what do I do? What is your podcast about? Like there's no more labels around it. It's just like my expression as a human. And like basically I've just made my life the practice of tuning more and more into my true nature and exploring that, as you said, very like freely and openly, and then using my gift as a communicator to kind of take my inner work and turn it into art of some sort, which normally manifests in the form of a podcast.
So if someone's a good communicator out there and they got a cool message, maybe they want to start sharing now, what's your best opinion they should do, or like your first thing, like first little tip you got for them to just start sharing and like actually, get viral videos, because at the end of the day, like, you can be the smartest in the room about a subject, but you're not going to be well known until you make yourself well known, right?
It's true.
So in the social media world, it's usually like the people that do better are just the most well known. So how do you help those people that are already like good communicators, but they need to start doing it now through social media, maybe to start making money off the wacky things they want to talk about, whatever that may be for that person?
Right. That's a great point. It's like, yeah, you can be the smartest one on the subject, but you have to claim it. You have to own it, and you have to have the courage to be seen in it. I think like as young men, especially who we're speaking to right now, guys our age, right? Something like that.
Mostly.
And just for people in general, I know women too, and not just men. Of course, it's women too. Like, we just have this, I'm just saying, like, young people, we have this kind of like fear to be seen, because our parents and our grandparents, like these generations, these people are like, it's like so different than how we feel and how we live in the world, that like we almost have to put up a wall to defend this like different way of being in the world, to where like when you to be able to let your guard down and like post something on the internet and have the courage to be seen fully in your truth. You know, I posted a video yesterday of me in a hot tub, you know, talking about taking 8 grams of mushrooms. You know, it's so trippy to think about my mom or somebody seeing that, but like, that's not who it's for. And they don't even see, you know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks that their parents or whoever it is just hung up watching their videos. But like, the truth is they don't care. And the truth is the shit you're talking about probably doesn't even reach them. It goes in one ear and out the other. They don't even understand what you're saying, you know? And then so just having the courage to be seen. I'm sorry that we took a turn. No,
it's beautiful. Everyone I've had on this podcast, every topic, it comes back. And if you're an avid viewer, you know, we're only on episode 4.
That's epic. I'm so happy to be on episode 4. That's cool.
Of course, man. But all the conversations come back to what we think about ourselves and our judgment. But most of the judgment usually isn't ours. Usually. Yeah. Every guest I've had so far on the podcast, we've all came to this, or they all started explaining that in one way or another.
It's a big part of the journey.
So if you're ready to start making content or like do something online, in whatever, you know, niche you're in the world, there's millions, you know, get creative. Anything
you can think of that if you're interested in it, there's other people interested in it.
So say they already got past that. They're like, okay, I have these limiting beliefs of my own, and those are my own. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of them. Okay, these other ones are being held just by my mom, dad, like what my past high school people are gonna think, whatever, friends, past friends, it doesn't matter. Usually family though. Say they already got past that.
Okay.
What's their step now? What do they do?
Okay.
Like pick up their phone and do what?
Because we just have to address that first part. Before we get into strategy,
everyone addresses
every time we do a consultation call with somebody, before we get into, I'm not even going to waste my breath on strategy until we uncover, are you actually going to post the shit?
Yes. So the people are listening right now. They're like, oh, dude, I'm ready to post. What do I do? Big Daddy J, tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do. All right. Well, so you asked me like podcast specifically.
Podcast or short form.
Yeah. So my career has been, you asked me like when I started. I started the podcast just coming up on 2 years ago. Okay. I'm like 80 episodes in. There were times where I took big breaks, but like I started it 2 years ago. Like I started talking on the mic 2 years ago. Got one of this exact mic that I'm holding actually in my hand was my first mic. As you can see, both bolts are missing. It's got many, many, many scratches. It has been with me through war.
It's got battle.
This thing is
it's a black belt.
It's like my trusty old pistol that I'll never get rid of. You know what I mean? Made my first few a lot of kills with this. 80 fucking kills with this thing. So I got to keep this thing in the holster. Anyway.
That's great.
Anyway, yeah, so I kind of made my career on making YouTube videos, just like how we're doing now, whether it was 10 minutes, whether it was 2.5 hours. And to this day, as we're doing right now, I've always filmed it on my phone, cinematic mode. Your phone is we were just talking about it. Like you could spend $900 on a Sony camera that has a 30-minute cap on it, and it fucking takes hours to get it off of that onto the computer and then in a Dropbox folder. And it's just like, fuck all of that, man. When I can just put this in iMovie, we'll get into this. We'll get into the strategy. But so I've made a career off of making videos sideways, horizontal videos, putting them on YouTube, and then chopping every clippable moment of that up into clips, and that's how my Instagram and TikTok have blown up. Is through the clips. My YouTube, you know, you got to think about it like if you're just starting out, you're filming your podcast sideways for the because there's going to be people who want to hear the full conversation.
Yeah, the big long format.
There's going to be people who want the full podcast, and as
you're the real ones watching right now. That's you.
Right.
Thank you.
And then as your podcast clips start to circulate more on the internet, people are more familiar with, oh, this guy, he has a podcast. Like everybody on TikTok, if you're into psychedelics, you've seen my videos. Ooh. You know what I mean?
It's facts.
You've seen my videos. Like if you're into, And so you know that, like, okay, this guy's a podcast, right? And then so now my podcast, here we are 2 years later, like, you know, some of my podcasts, like 2-hour videos on YouTube have 10,000 views, and, you know, it's growing. So so the full podcasts are just, that's a necessary part in it. For me, like I would feel, like, imagine if I just built this whole thing just doing short form and I didn't have hundreds of hours on YouTube.
You wouldn't even had the short form though, because a lot of your short form come from the YouTube.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if I would have went a different route, like the Shannon Michaela route, to where I'm literally just gonna make a short form video from scratch. I'm gonna think about a concept. I'm gonna make a short form video, and then your YouTube's left in the dust. And
we still love you, Shannon.
No, yeah, Shannon. I'm just saying, like, I've never once in my life thought about a concept for a short form video.
You do that on the fly sometimes, but your main thing is coming from your macro.
Yeah, like, dude, you can sum my whole career up to, you know, like 95% of the content has come from the podcast.
Gotcha. So, okay, that person out there is like, okay, I like doing this or flipping this. Like maybe they flip Teslas. I don't even know, something there, some arbitrage they found, creative. They should just start long form, start recording.
I would start long form, and you don't even need to get mics or anything. Like if you just want to get started right now, because I believe that momentum is important in art. I believe that, like, just getting started and, like, putting something out, because, dude, like, your first video, no one cares about your first video. Like, it doesn't matter how many views it's gonna get. What matters is that now you've engaged the universe in your creative process. That's how manifestation actually works. Not by writing it down in a journal. It's by actually taking action and putting energy into the thing that you feel called in your fucking soul to do. So don't make any excuses of, I got to wait till I have equipment. If you're watching this on a phone right now, you're watching this on a laptop, if you go to my YouTube channel and scroll down, long before I had mics, I would just set the camera up and I would talk. My biggest video on YouTube, biggest one I was showing you the other day, the mushroom trip one, 40K views or something. I didn't even have a mic, you know. It would just filmed it on my phone, and that's my biggest video on YouTube. And so whatever you're interested in, like, for me, like, getting stoned and talking for hours, like, is the path of least resistance. Like, that's the easiest.
Flow like water.
Well, you know, because it's like, well, because when you're first getting started, right, if it's like this big daunting task, it's going to turn you off. So you got to think of, like, what flows best for me. Maybe you love taking a walk in the park. That's where you get your downloads, and just whipping out the phone and making a little 2-minute, 30-second, whatever it is, video is the path of least resistance for you. For me, it's talking for hours in altered states of consciousness. Like, that's what I prefer. That's what I would, like, be doing regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't have to sit and talk about anything for 2 hours, but I think it's liberating to know that you can. I just talk about anything. I've never had a plot in a podcast. You know me. We've podcasted many times. Yeah. We sit down and we roll.
Today's probably one of the only times you're structured a little bit more, because I'm going to make sure we're going to find out all the movements you're making, because this whole podcast is on helping people move more, make more. So, like, we're figuring out how, I know you as a friend. I know how you've made your moves.
Yeah.
So we're trying to expose those a little bit.
And this just goes to show that there is so many different ways to go about it, and it's going to be successful as long as it's true to you. Like, this is what flows for you. You're a structured person, and you want to have a structured conversation. You want to bring value to your audience. It's you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to do it. You just gotta really ask yourself, like, what could I talk about? What could I actually see myself getting obsessed with talking about? You know what I mean? And that's where we've both found ourselves. Like, we're obsessed with what we do. You're obsessed with movement and optimization and you know, hacking into like a better life. You're obsessed with it, right? Is that fair to say?
Very
like
fair.
you're like, you would be doing it whether
You've been with us this week
whether
so
the
far.
world was watching or not. You'd be doing this shit.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And whether the world was watching or not, I would be making microdoses and going to retreats and talking about the shit with my friends. You know what I mean? So just like go that route. That's what I mean by the path of least resistance. What are you just like obsessed with already? Mm-hmm. You know? And then, so anyway, long story short, if you have mics, great. You want to get mics, whatever, cameras, whatever. I say take your phone, set it up. I mean, you don't need a tripod. Set it up on the fucking window and sit there and talk about something, whether it's 5-10 minutes. I'm really big into storytelling. Storytelling is how we as humans have preserved information and passed it down since the beginning of time, was like through story. You know, like all religions, all these philosophies are encapsulated into stories. Yeah. People remember stories. People resonate with stories. You know, stories are exciting for people. So that's why my biggest video on YouTube is a story. 5 grams of penis envy mushrooms changed my life. It's a story about me having an experience and talking in depth about the experience that resonates with people and turns it into a video that people want to watch and engage with.
That's so true. Every book I've read almost in marketing and everything, it comes back to storytelling.
Because we connect with a human. Like we connect with the human. That's,
facts.
You know, we started this podcast talking about Hunter S. Thompson. He invented a style of journalism called gonzo journalism. So instead of just going to a place and writing a story about the place, you're writing the story as if it's a detailed account of your experience in that place. As opposed, so for an example, like if you're gonna like go make a video, a vlog in the Middle East. Let's go see what the Middle East is actually about, right? You could have the camera pointing outward the whole time, and you could just focus on the events happening. This is how these people do this. This is what they eat. This is how they drive. Mm-hmm. Or you can make it a personal POV kind of experience that has your own personal
vlogging style.
More vlog style. He fucking
invented
vlogging.
What? So start vlogging more. Whatever your niche is, get after it.
You know me right now. I'm really hot on vlogging. I'm obsessed with vlogging. But it comes down to like, what's the path of least resistance for you? So for me to get started, to start my career, to actually be able to drop in and focus for the 2 years that it took to build this, it was podcasting. That was my ticket. That was what launched me.
So if someone doesn't want to just like talk to the camera himself, they should just talk to other people about the topics, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. Man. Capitalize off the people you have in your life.
Yeah.
Capitalize on the internet, man. Like you'd be surprised, dude. This is what always blows my mind. You would be surprised at how many people say yes to you if you were to hit them up and be like, "Hey, would love to have you on my podcast, just a 20-30 minute Zoom session." You know what I mean? Like I know a kid who has a couple hundred Instagram followers who started a podcast, and he's had on like CVC Wellness, he's had on me, he's had on you, Harley. He's had on you. You know, this kid's got a couple hundred Instagram followers, and he's getting like big names, people with million followers, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers on his podcast. And then he's smart. He's clipping it, and he's inviting them as a collaborator. I saw he did a couple with you. He's done some with me.
That's the biggest hack right
That's the biggest hack right there. So think about this. If you're watching Dakota right now and you're like super interested in business and building a business around whatever it is, right? Like hit up people that you're inspired by. Hit up Dakota. You never know. Like hit up people that you are inspired by, that you want to talk to, and just fucking hit them up and be like, "Hey, will you hop on a Zoom with me? I'll record it. You know, I'll make you some clips." Just get in the game. You got to get in the game, and these are hacks to get in the game, you know, because no one knows who you are. You got to make yourself known.
Yeah, that's a good point. No one knows who you are. And C, the big C's of the world, the eighth wonder of the world is collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah.
The big C. What are you thinking? No, but yeah, collaborate. You can do that with almost anybody. People will say yes more than likely because if you just make it a quick online Zoom session, they can be in anywhere in the world. And you can do it. Just promise them 10 minutes. Just say 10 minutes. Yeah. It ends up being 20, whatever. Yeah. Then you have a bunch of like 10 little short clips that you can invite that guy on, or girl on a collaborator. And then boom, you're being exposed to hundreds of thousands of people. And Harley, yeah, he's grown his channel.
Yeah, big time. Oh, his Facebook is his biggest.
From 0 to, what's his Facebook at?
I don't know, 100,000 maybe.
Yeah, and that's also one of the other underappreciated pieces of real estate right now in the virtual world is Facebook. Facebook Reels. If you aren't posting Facebook Reels, everybody's talking about Threads now.
Threads.
But no, Facebook
I'm enjoying
Reels.
Threads.
Yeah, and YouTube Shorts, they're still popping off. Like YouTube Shorts are doing wonders for me and some of my friends and growing subscribers. Oh my God. If you have a short form piece of content, because me and him do the same thing for this. If you have a short form, it should go everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you don't put it everywhere, that's just like another at bat. Like you're about to swing your bat at a fucking baseball coming at you.
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather have one chance or 100 chances?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. It's like when I make a video, you're right. I post it on everything that I have. Yeah. And for me, that usually looks like if I clip up a podcast clip, that clip's going on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts guaranteed. Those three have been like the most important for me. But I mean, you should listen to Dakota because he's got way bigger platforms than me.
Clapper, Facebook Reels. You need like, and now fucking Threads. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Threads too.
I'm going hard on Threads because I actually like it.
This is a good example. It just came out like 4 days ago. Threads did. So if you have a short form piece of content and it goes on all 8 of those platforms, now that Threads out, you just add it number 9. That's just another at bat you're swinging. Yeah. So you just take another 10 seconds of your life to repost that video, copy and paste the caption that you put on everything else.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's worth it.
But you could blow up from it.
Right. Yeah, and it's like when I do that, maybe it doesn't hit on Instagram, but on TikTok it picks up and goes off. You know what I mean? Like, my God. The amount of times I've posted, like, I think about every viral video I've ever had, whether it was on TikTok or Instagram, and it's like, dude, that same video flopped on the other platform. Think about that, you know? Like for example, like 2 videos on my Instagram that absolutely changed the course of my career. They're pinned to the top of my profile. One of me saying when you do Wim Hof and every day and mushrooms 3 times a week, you can't be a real estate agent anymore. It's just a funny little, and a story. I love it. A story that resonates with people and gets 1.3 million views, gains me 15,000 followers or something. And then another video that has like 1 million views. It just hit 100K likes today. It has more likes than the one with more views, which is interesting. It's of me on mushrooms out by the ocean. But I'm thinking about those on TikTok. They didn't do shit. You know?
Very rarely does the same one that pops up on one platform pop up on everything. I've had that happen before where like, okay, this video is just a banger. Yeah. It just bangs on everything. But usually it's just like 1 or 2. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like the one that has 1.3 million on Instagram, it has 100K on TikTok.
Still decent, but
it's decent. Yeah. That is a good video on TikTok. But then the other one, the other one has like 5,000 views. You know what I mean? And then, but that one gained me. And I was talking to Dave about this yesterday. I think this is a good story for your audience, real quick too. There's literally one video on my Instagram that like changed the course of my career. And it's that one of me on mushrooms by the ocean. I gained 40,000 Instagram followers from that one video. Like, it was raining followers for like 3-4 weeks. It's like still going. That video just hit 100K likes today. It's still going.
When it rains, it pours.
And what's interesting about that video is that I hadn't posted 2 weeks prior to that video. I hadn't posted in 2 weeks. 10 days, something like that. I was really doing deep rest and like taking care of myself. And I was in Hawaii off grid and just kind of like really resting and recovering and like recharging my batteries. And that video, there was so much energy and inspiration in that video. Like I was so inspired. And there was so much fucking creative energy like just built up in me. It was such a magical moment that energy has transcended time and space and brought 40,000 people that resonate with me into my field. So I guess the message there is like, that video is arguably like the most true expression of like me and my art that exists on the internet.
Talking about the ocean?
Yeah,
like it knows. We don't know.
Well, I was like, yeah, it was along those lines. Yes, we could play it.
I understood what you were saying, though. Like, we really don't know anything. We don't know why it's happening, but it is happening. We're just observing information and bringing it in. Like, I was feeling you. It's hard to explain in words.
It's hard to explain.
Especially
yeah,
on shrooms, you can't even explain the same.
But in that vibe, you know, like that, like, you know, you've been saying all week, document the vibe. And like that's what I did. That was the vibe, and that fucking vibe was infectious. So whatever that looks like for you, right? Like making video, and I guess the story there is like there's many messages there. One of which is fucking take care of yourself first, because if you are not in balance and in harmony internally, how on earth are you gonna make good content? How are you gonna make insightful, inspiring? Because you gotta think about. The energy doesn't lie. So somebody could be sitting here saying all the words that you're saying, and it would fall flat and it wouldn't resonate with anybody because it's deeper than words. You got to live the shit that you're talking about. You know what I mean? If you're, you know, fake it till you make it. I think that's bullshit, because like I look back and like, like when I was faking it, no one watched, no one cared. You know what I mean? And then once I was like, okay, let me get myself right, because I understood like as above, so below. You know, I was like, okay, like, you know, Mike Posner has a line in a song. He says, the deeper the artist, the deeper the song. So the deeper the art, the deeper the artist. So the deeper we can go within ourselves, the deeper and more powerful and impactful the content is going to be. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. You're a dedicated yogi. If you were a fucking noob pretending to be a yogi, they wouldn't be popping off like this. You know what I mean?
No, that makes a lot of sense. You brought up a good point. Lately here, me and my crew, we've been saying document the vibe. And we're already deep in our content creator journeys. In our content creator lives, I'm like, you know, 6 years running, like 2 years serious. Like I've been like, okay, let's do this seriously. Right. But we're still at the beginning, but we're not beginners anymore, right?
No.
And we've had some success. So with that being said, we're still documenting the vibe. We're just documenting. So if you're really starting out, like you don't even have, you're like creating your Instagram account, Facebook account. Like I'm starting out. Just document. Like Gary Vee has this, you know, document over create.
Go watch that video, by the way. We've seen it a million times, but type in document versus create Gary Vee. Put that in on YouTube. Watch that video. It's like 10 years old, 8 years old or something.
Evergreen.
It's one of the most powerful videos you'll ever watch. So
yeah. So when you're starting out, that's the most important thing you can keep in mind, because you can just document your journey, and that is the content itself. Yeah. You don't need to try to create content. And as you start getting good at whatever you're talking about, like whatever niche you're in, then you can start creating your own vibe, you know, creating your own like ripples in that field. And that's exactly what you did. Like you were just documenting a lot. Storytelling. You can always storytell.
Yep.
Everybody has a story.
You have personal stories to tell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, facts.
Bro, that's huge, because like when you're okay, I'm gonna be a content creator, right? And you're waking up in the morning and you're like, okay, what the fuck am I gonna look at this camera and say that's gonna have me respected and make me sound smart and get engagement, right? Yeah. And a lot of times that video sucks shit. I see them, man. I see them, and you know, the same people that make fucking dog shit content, bullshit, watered down horse shit, I have conversations with, and I really like this person as a person. Why did they make this dog shit content? And it's because they're scared to be themselves, and they think that they have to be a certain thing. For me, like I'm seeing like, you know, because I'm in like the space, I hate to say it, but like it's like the spiritual community, right? And I'll meet somebody and have a fucking, this happened to me in Guatemala, man. Like I would have like these fire conversations with people. They were great people, love hanging out with them. We'd eat dinner, we'd have fun. And then they would follow me and message me, and I would go look at their content, and I would be like, man, if I met this guy on Instagram, I wouldn't even respond to his fucking DM. Because this is bullshit, what I'm watching. And why are you doing that? Like, why are you because you're watering yourself down to try to be something or like fit into a certain niche, when like the thing that the only reason I am successful in what I do is because I put myself in 0 boxes. And so do you. Like, you're sexy yoga and shit. Like, you're notorious because you don't put yourself in a box. And that's what you want to be, is notorious. Yeah. You have to be notorious, or else you're just another cutout copy that can be replaced. There's a million fucking just yogis on Instagram. Just yogis. They're vegan, the whole gamut. You know, thing, yeah. But there's not a lot of people out there that are fucking legit yogis, yoga instructors, changing people's lives, that have a podcast called More Movement, More Money, and teach sexy yoga. There's only one of those, and it's fucking Dakota Mays, and that's why you have like 1 million followers combined across everything. You got to be yourself, and you got to express because people...
Did you want to jump in right there?
People...
2.6.
2.6.
I seen it on his face. He's like,
2.6 million followers across all platforms.
But yeah, it wasn't like that in the beginning when I was another yogi, just like creating just regular yoga content. I didn't show any of my personality at first. Yep. Like, I didn't really like. Yeah. You're speaking. He's speaking facts.
So I keep it fucking real. That's why people fuck with me. So like, dude, we've passed the threshold of humbleness, and now that we're coming for next. Yeah. But so like, dude, we're like 30 minutes in. So like,
I was always coming for next.
I've already won your audience over. It's time to fucking.
They're warm up to us now. Where's the other joint at?
Yeah, I'll make us another joint. Yeah, we need another joint. That'd be fun. I could do this for hours, man. This is fun. No, like for me, you know, in the space I'm in, I could be another one of those people that are like, oh, brother, I was really feeling into the medicine this morning, and it was telling me to deliver this transmission to you. Oh, you know, God, that's what these motherfuckers are doing, and you wonder why it has 3 likes. From your cousin and your other stupid friend.
From your other accounts that you like.
From your other accounts. Yeah, you want to keep it real. From your other accounts. It's because it's watered down horse shit that people have heard a million times. And I'm saying this not to judge.
Be raw.
I'm saying this to liberate. I'm saying this to liberate people.
Yeah, so when people, they're listening to us, they're following us this whole time. What do they do if they're really like...
You keep it real.
Just be vulnerable.
You put the human touch on it. If you're into... coding, say you're a fucking software coder and you want to make videos about coding, you know, keep it real. Like, how are you actually thinking about it when you're talking about a thing? Oh yeah, and then if you put this thing up, people won't be able to access the porn you're looking at, so make sure you add that, you know, like that's a human touch that would make somebody like you know what I mean? Like, keep it real.
Don't watch porn, by the way.
What? Yeah. I know that. What an example. I'm just. Yeah, I know. It's. Oh yeah, on YouTube. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you do unsubscribe now, you don't belong here. We don't watch prawn over here.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, add that human element to you, or to it. Like, and just like for you, if you're a yogi, I'm sure there's people watching who are in the yoga space. It's like, yeah, man, post your yoga stuff, but like, don't hide who you are. Like. Embrace it. Not only don't hide it, but embrace it, because we live in a world where you don't have to be professional. You don't have to be this like image that we were sold necessarily. Like, this is the Wild West. Make no mistake about it.
Anymore.
We don't wear shoes. We've been walking through the streets of Sayulita miles upon miles with no shoes.
You walk in any store, pretty much any restaurant. We don't wear shoes
anymore. We're in the Wild West.
And my buddy Dave here. Dave, hop on in. This dude, look at his hobbit feet. He's been barefoot as long as me. Bro, he'd be in the airport. You can get in the airports with no shoes on, socks. Yep. He's figured this out.
I've flown into LAX without shoes.
I'm the first person on this planet to travel to multiple airports without once getting told to put my shoes on. And I had an unbuttoned shirt.
No underwear.
The yoga pants on, so no underwear. So dick was flopping around.
No underwear in the yoga pants.
Raquel told me at least 50 people had to like stare at me and was just trying to figure out what I was doing. It was awesome.
It's like, does he live in this airport? No, he has a backpack on.
He's one of the locals.
He's a local.
He's a local.
He eats the subway scraps.
But it's like, but I seen him at LAX. It's like, Who is this guy? He's a phenom.
And that's what I mean by being notorious. Do shit that only you would do and post
Look
that.
how dirty my feet are right now. I walk around barefoot every day. I don't wear shoes unless we go to jiu-jitsu. Respect us.
Respect.
We'll throw on the shoes before getting on the mat.
Respect.
Respect. But yeah, I like that. Be human in whatever you're doing. Just like every part about that was human. It's like super what we do. We're barefoot as fuck. So don't make it like, did you know walking barefoot and blah 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 like in a serious video? It's like, not just maybe share some benefits here and there, but like it doesn't have to be serious.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just document.
People think they have to be so goddamn serious. Like people would
no.
never run a podcast with a guy in the background smoking weed. They'd think that they need to be in a quiet space and like
He's getting our vertical clips for us.
I know
right now.
I know it.
So take notes at home whenever we got the horizontal going right now.
My biggest advice to you is always have a guy in the background smoking weed with another camera going. Like that's like the most important part of all of this is to always have a guy smoking weed helping you out. I'm just kidding, but
no, you're not.
It helps.
That's a potent life stack.
Yeah, but I don't want people to become reliant upon the weed smoking video guy. Make your goddamn content alone in your room if that's where you're at.
Yeah, you can do it all.
If you're in your room right now watching this, make your video, man. I mean, I just can't express enough. My biggest video on YouTube is me in a fucking room, a not cool room, talking.
Yeah.
Share your truth.
Yeah, dude. I had videos blow up whenever like I want to beat myself up the way I used to look. My little frail white bony body.
Yeah.
5 years deep into being vegan, like just like malnourished as fuck, just like looking washed up. And I had videos still blow up. So it's like all I'm saying is if you have body dysmorphia out there, or if you have any like complex in terms of looking at yourself on camera, I'm telling you like almost the worst version of you can still blow up. If you're being authentic and sharing good content, like people really don't care. You care more than anybody else.
You want me to be honest? When I look at that video, my biggest video on YouTube, the first thing I think is like, God damn it, I look like such a fucking
Exactly.
bitch.
There you go. So even us, sometimes we're like, oh, that was nasty, but it's performing well.
I know. I promise you. My biggest video, I feel like I look like a fucking idiot.
Potato.
Makes me cringe.
Yeah, so that's another good point though. Even if you're cringed at your own content, you still got to post it because usually like you're the only one going to be cringed at your content. So just post, but do get good feedback. Like ask your friends, like, hey, be raw with me. Like, see, like if you don't have real friends that can tell you that, then damn, I'm sorry. But have some real friends. Like I ask for feedback all the time. But then there's a big balance of like, don't do it too much. Don't need assurance and everything. Like, oh, is this title good? What was good?
Right.
Do a happy balance of like market research with your friends. Make sure you're not being a dumbass.
Yeah, I think that's valuable.
Yeah,
that's valuable for sure.
But if you're just documenting storytelling, like what complaint can people have?
Yeah, I mean, that's why you can't go wrong. Like if you're just starting out, tell your story. Like your first video could just be like, hey, my name's John. I fucking, I got scammed. The Matrix got me. I fucking went to college and got this job, and now I'm trying to make it as a fucking yoga teacher, and just document that journey, man. Because like. You see as a person on the internet, you see all the people on the top of the mountain. You see all the self-help people and all the big podcasters. You see them up there. And that's cool and inspiring to a certain degree, but people connect with the journey. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like people try to blow up. Like I see this a lot in the music space. People are trying to like get popping as a rapper, and they have 3 posts on their Instagram main page at any time because they're trying to like seem cool. When in reality, and that's why no one gives a fuck about them. They're all fucking poser losers with fake followers, because like people actually are only going to connect with the journey. There's actually no other way to do it unless you're a fucking industry plant or like your dad has connections or something. Like there's no other way to do it other than a real come up. You got to come up for real, and you do that by documenting. Russell
Branson, mm-hmm. The one with all the marketing books. He has it's called the Epiphany Journey. So when you're storytelling, he talks about storytelling, of course. He's an OG in marketing. He's one that made ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels.
Yeah, I know who he is.
he's huge and he's like #1 in this space. And he literally says to do that exact same thing and take people through your journey of realizing the same thing you want them to realize. So if we want you to realize, maybe we're talking about more, he's a content creator, of course. So maybe you're a content creator. Like we, as our goal needs to be to have him share his epiphany of you becoming a content creator, or the epiphanies you made during that process.
Right.
For them to make the epiphanies in their brain and make it make sense. Like, oh,
that's
okay,
what I mean.
Yeah, I can see this happening. Yeah, I could do this. This could be me. Yeah, I could do this. Like,
well, you lay a map.
Yeah.
Sure. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
With this podcast is very simply put is a map that you can apply to your own journey.
So how can we finish this map and make it to the land?
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, like.
So right now we're like, document the journey, blah, 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 blah. Like, start to teach a little bit as you get some market research, you figure out what works in your niche, how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So any other tips, like virality tips that people, because dude, you're good at going viral.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of videos go viral. And I know like the hook, like right as soon as you pull up your fucking phone, he said, whenever you're feeling creative, I agree. Do it then. If you can if you're just a phone to the face content person, oh my God, just do it whenever you're feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
No rules to it, because that's actually the best moment to ever do it, right?
Of course.
Because you're raw. So anything that can like help them optimize that and like hook, like should they worry about their hooks more, just be more like, or just don't think about that at all, just like,
well, okay,
I don't know.
No, I feel you. Here's what I'll say. I mean, be interesting. Okay. And the way that you be interesting is by being yourself. Honestly, my biggest advice, like what I want people to take away from this is like, if it's real, it will work. If it's real. But a lot of the times it isn't real.
Okay, so what if it is real and they know their heart and soul, like, oh shit, the content I've been putting out is real. I've been doing long form and short form. Look, here's my page. I already posted 100 times, so it's not like, oh, I posted 3 times. I haven't blown up. No, they posted 100 times, but they aren't getting any traction. Would you just say?
I posted thousands of times before I got traction.
Okay, yeah, so that was my point. When should they like reconsider things like, okay, maybe selling grass isn't a good viable business. You know what I mean? Whatever the fucking dumb idea. Maybe it's a dumb idea.
Maybe it is a dumb idea.
They didn't have good friends and family to tell them, like, hey, that's a dumbass idea. Don't do that. You're going to waste your time. Oh, no, Jaret and Dakota told me.
Yeah. That's why I'm such a big fan of just like making content around you as a person, because then any business venture you get into from there, you already have people who are tuned into your journey that like would consider going to support the business, as opposed to just building a business and then having nothing for yourself as a human. So that's why I'm so big on just like storytelling. If selling grass is your fucking thing right now, make personal content and include the selling grass shit. And then when you are ready to be done with selling grass, continue doing the personal brand shit that you were already doing, and then start posting about your new business venture. That's what I've done. It's like I haven't like centered I've just like immersed myself kind of like I'm the brand. And then like if I'm an eBay seller at this time, that's what the content's going to be about. And if I'm a fucking podcaster at this, whatever, you know what I mean? Start making content about yourself. Start telling stories.
Keep it really personal.
Keep it personal. Like keep it personal. That's what I would say.
That's a hack. I just learned this year. My buddy Manuel, episode 3 on the podcast, he literally told me, he's like, he got on my page. Dude, I'm not even kidding. We're in this Costa Rica road trip. We're doing all these Salinas, like these different classes. And we were the last day. I'm like done working. And I haven't smoked the whole time. I smoked no weed the whole 6 days. So it was like the seventh day or whatever it was.
Sounds awful.
We're smoking. Nah, it was,
I'm just kidding, man.
It was a good little refresh. But we're there smoking last day of it. And this is my first time meeting Manuel. And he's great. We had awesome classes. We were like the chemistry is awesome. The last day, I'm like, dude, you're crushing it. I'm like finding out about all these deals he has, like all these partnerships and all these things he's doing. I'm like, wow, I have more followers than you. Like, what's going on here? Why am I not doing the same things as you? He grabbed my phone. He literally grabbed my phone. He's like, well, look. And he just scrolled it a little bit. He's like, I don't want to live your life. He said that. Just those words exactly. And I'm like, I'm like, no egos there. I'm just like, explain more. I'm like, yeah, explain more. But he was like, I don't want to live your life. He's like, you just look like, you'll get some yoga tips. Like you'll know like, oh, I'll go to Dakota for like, tips on the body or movement. but I don't want to live your life. Oh no. Like he would be like, it cringed in his mind to live my life, even though I have an awesome life. I'm doing all these things.
That's just not what you're showing.
I'm not showing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't showing it. I wasn't being personal. I was giving good content, great yoga movement content, very visual, very educational, but it wasn't personal.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I started making my account personal.
Yeah.
This past 5 months has been a journey of making 4 months,
Yeah.
getting it more personal. And already life-changing things have happened.
It's so amazing.
What you're saying is like golden.
I love seeing you expressing
If I would have kept it
yourself
personal
on
back
there.
then, though,
Uh-huh.
on everything,
Yeah.
so just do that.
Well, that's the
if you're
beauty-
selling grass, sorry,
Yeah.
you're a little stupid, but like,
Yeah.
keep it personal and you can move on one day.
Yeah, because like even if no one gives a shit about your grass selling business, at least you got some people that like think you're funny. You know? Like you got some people watching, like, I waited till I had 100K TikTok followers to ever promote anything. Yeah. And then I made a t-shirt drop. I had 7,000 Instagram followers, 100,000 TikTok followers, and they sold out in a weekend. So it's like, that was just off of me, like talking about my own life, my own journey. And then when you bring business into it, there's going to be an audience there that fucks with you, that'll support it. So, you know what I mean? Build your personal thing. Even if you are niched, I still think like bring as much personal in there. I mean, that's how Gary Vee is one, Gary Vee's always said that. He's like, I know that I've gotten fucking multi-million-dollar deals only because I'm a Jets fan. Just because people know I'm a Jets fan. Because people connect with that. And like something as random as being a diehard Jets fan is like what takes you to the next level as a person by just expressing that. Something so stupid and trivial, but yet we're so afraid to be human. So just be very, very human. Explore your interests and passions to like the fullest and just share it all. And it'll work. If it's real, it'll work. Just keep posting, collab with people, surround yourself with that energy. You got to think about the energy in your life. If you're around if you're not, man, you're better off alone in your own energy than in an energy of people who are not doing shit and people who are complaining and people who are not believing in your fucking vision or don't believe in you. If people aren't excited for you, if your friends aren't excited for you about, starting your content journey or whatever, like you're better off with no friends. That's the route I took. And then once I took a good year and a half, focused on myself, tuned into myself, now I got the best friend group in the world. 2 years later, I got the fucking dopest friend group all over the world, man. Like, it's fucking, I dreamed of this 2 years ago. And like, no kidding. I wrote in my journal, like when I had no friends, I was like, I have dope friends that are in alignment with me. Like that was something that I was calling in, manifesting for a long time. And it comes from just, again, having the courage to be seen, sharing your journey. I can't pipe it down their throat enough. Just like do the work within yourself that allows you to feel free enough to share it all. Otherwise, you're just wasted time making videos that have been made thousands of times. Like you can't replicate the shit I'm making. No one said the shit I'm saying. That's the kind of shit you want to get. That's the vibe you want to get into. It's where you're so in your own lane and so in your own bag. There's no other. I'm telling you, there's no other like business yogi jacked biohacking guys like they're like and there's guys that are 4 of the 5 things, but there aren't guys that are 5 of the 5 things. You know what I mean? There are guys. There are, there's, you know what I mean? Like just embracing every aspect of yourself is the superpower, I think. Every aspect. Even what you consider to be your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, the more, when you share those, that's what really helps people connect with you too. Because people want to know that you're human too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's, like I made a very vulnerable post in Guatemala, and just seeing like the love and like the respect and for like sharing a really like vulnerable thing that like takes courage to share, helps people connect with you a lot.
Good lesson of the day is keep it personal.
Keep it personal. Keep it real.
We talk about it a lot in the friend group, and this is a great one to wrap it up with. Your personal brand will never leave you. So the more movement you make in your life, you don't want to make all those moves for other people throughout your life. Because if you're doing a lot of moves in your 20s, but it was for this one business. A lot of moves in your 30s, but it was for this business. A lot of moves in your 40s, but it was for this firm.
Yeah.
It might be better, but you're doing it for someone else. But if that whole time in your 20s, 30s, 40s, if you were doing your personal branding throughout all those years, mid 30s, you're saying fuck this firm, and because you have your own personal brand that people are in love with. So whatever you're doing, you can like monetize that. And we live in a world where you can monetize your following easy. Not in a bad way too. You just sell them the stuff that you believe in, that you use, you try. It's really simple.
Bro, it's I mean, shit, dog.
Keep it personal at all times in your life.
And if you are simply documenting, you can do both. You can bust your ass for the firm and grow, and while documenting the journey without stressing yourself out. Like if you're actually just documenting, it's very easy.
See,
it's been fun.
Want to be in. Well, thank you. Hey, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. Again, this is my dude. He's a soul bro. I want to lead this on one more note. Actually, you're not going to find your soul tribe unless you put out your soul in your content.
Facts.
So everything he was just talking about, putting your soul into your content, only making content when you're super inspired or in that homeostasis to where you can feel like you can channel something worth channeling. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. So put out your soul. You'll find your soul tribe. And I found him through Instagram.
That's exactly how it happens. I mean, Dakota, I'll just say real quick how we met. Like, I built a big company. We could talk about this in another podcast, but I built a big company, like running other people's social medias. And I was running Mike's TikTok. Oh, yeah. And Mike followed you. And when I say Mike, I'm talking about just Mike, or he used to go by Mike Stud. He's an artist. And he followed you because, you know, he's kind of been on his like healing journey with his body. He was a Duke pitcher. He's the lowest ERA in Duke history. Gee. But so he was following you. So every time, and I was posting for him 4 videos a day at the time. Gang shit. We grew his TikTok. I'll tell you that much. But I kept seeing your videos when I would be uploading. So then I went and I liked them. So then I went and followed you on my personal Instagram. And then I see, literally like the next day, I see on your Instagram story, you're in Columbus. And I'm just
I posted something personal.
Yeah, he posted him at the gym in Columbus.
Boom.
And I fucking swiped up on it. And I said, dude, I live in Sandusky. Do you want to come on my podcast? And he replied immediately. He said, yeah, come on down. And boom, that podcast is 2 hours long. It's on my YouTube channel. We have a lot of podcasts on my YouTube channel. This is a very different version of us.
We're just way tanner and better looking now.
And way more grounded and rooted in
so much more.
Yeah, bro. We were lost puppies.
Hey, that's what this video is going to help with. You be less lost, because again, a lot of it's just fluff in the air. It's like a lot of clout chasing. It's like, if you do what we just said, I'm telling you, I know a lot of most of my friends are content creators. This is like the way you want to do it to be the less like deprived from it, the less like dopamine deprived. Like, just document your journey, share your journey, and then once you start seeing some numbers come, you'll find out, okay, this works, this doesn't, and just find your way there. Like, don't try to fake it till you make it. Like, you just like, it's not really a vibe. You're just gonna like go outside yourself and actually like just distract yourself for a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, and make really watered down shitty content that doesn't resonate with anybody, and it only discredits you. It hurts you.
Yes.
Not only does it not help you, but it fucking hurts you.
Yes.
Because then people land on your page and they go, what a fucking clown. You know? And then even when they see you 2 years later, maybe you are in your truth now. I remember that guy. He's a fucking clown.
That's
you know?
I've done that.
I know. That's why I can say it. Hey, everything I said today, anytime I was like fucking, like, it's all a internal reflection, because like I can only speak about it because I've been there. We've been there.
Yeah.
Even if not fully in like a video, you know, you can. I've got myself. You know, we've got excited and started imitating people, and you know, because that's what we do. Like, as advanced apes, which we are, we have this natural inclination to imitate, which is good. Yeah. But I think if you're able, we'll just end it here. Like, if you're able to kind of imitate in a way, maybe just by imitate. Okay, I'm going to sit down on a couch like these guys and talk about my shit. But then you got to keep it very true to you. Like, always, you know, I think that's your practice. If you're starting out, it's not only an external thing, make it an internal work too. Meditate on it. Like wake up in the morning, and whether you sit down and meditate or whether you journal or set intentions, like make it a meditation, make it an intention to create very true and authentic content. Make it a meditation to tune into your truth, whatever that looks like, and just post it. And eventually, my friend Dakota.
Okay, meditate on it. Tune into your truth.
Yeah,
Just kidding. But at the beginning of the podcast, he's like, "Fuck it."
Well,
no, but you're trying to relax into a cinema.
well, I'm saying you can use words
I over exaggerated
if they have meaning. I mean it.
It just
Yeah,
sounded
this
fun.
isn't some bullshit transmission from God. I'm telling you to fucking sit down and tune into your truth.
No, but if some dude's just walking by, they see us two white dudes.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
you're like,
Oh,
"Just
yeah.
meditate on it.
Oh yeah,
Tune
yeah,
into
yeah.
your
You're like, fuck these guys. It's so easy to hate us, of course. It's so
yeah, I
easy
know
to hate
we're white.
us.
It's
It's so easy to, dude. I know, man. It's so we could be hated for everything, but guess what? We love ourselves. So
facts. Well, hey, I hope you all enjoy this today. At the end of the day, I don't know what the title of this is going to be, but it's something that's going to help you with your content creating journey, or just starting, like taking that jump if you do want to start like monetizing or making money online.
yeah,
Great kickstart. So
you can do it.
rewatch this, send it to a friend who's trying to blow up, and yeah, more movement, more money. Until next time.
Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah, bro. Muy bonito.
I gotta say, after I took that hit of weed, that blasted me off.
Nice.
Like, I was